Today I'm going to tell you another story of the sad past. I will tell you about Germany. I will tell you about how the criminal anti-human regime led people to senseless slaughter. So, it all started beautifully. Lightning capture of Europe, the defeat of France, Belgium, Holland and Poland. The Wehrmacht captured Europe, suffered almost no human losses. Therefore, Germany in 1939 did not need either full or partial mobilization. The Wehrmacht army had enough conscripts and regular military personnel. In addition, there were more than enough volunteers willing to serve in the victorious Wehrmacht. The men of Austria, Denmark, Norway lined up at the recruiting stations of the Wehrmacht. After the capture of Europe, the Wehrmacht began to prepare for an attack on the Soviet Union. He began to accumulate material, economic and human resources, as well as military products and industrial power of all captured states. There was also an active recruitment of volunteers. There were a lot of applicants. Local governments supported the recruitment of the Wehrmacht. For example, in Denmark, all military personnel were guaranteed to retain their seniority when they transferred to service in Germany. And almost all Danish officers willingly joined the strongest army in the world. The Germans were preparing for war with the Soviet Union by analogy with European companies, under the slogan "Powerfully struck, quickly won." From 1939th to 1940th year, 5 million men were mobilized by virtue of the Third Reich. Some of them are volunteers, some are called up as part of a partial mobilization. This is the so-called Reserve Army. These are people who registered from 1939th to 1940th year and passed military training. These people were not immediately sent to the front. People from the Reserve Army went to the front in 1941, when there were no more regular military and volunteers at the front. 1943 has come. The Wehrmacht suffered catastrophic losses on the Eastern Front. And so the German leadership took unpopular measures. In 1943, Hitler introduced the total mobilization of all men of military age, including those employed in strategic industries. The state program of mobilization of all human and material forces was put forward. The German leadership accustomed the Germans to the idea that the war had become a long, brutal one. This is not just a war, it is a battle for the existence of a nation, requiring enormous sacrifices and efforts. Goebbels lit up all the days. The war has entered such a severe stage in which Germany is required to be ready, which is impossible to imagine at all. To some extent, total mobilization is caused by the passivity of many Germans. Until now, not all Germans want to spend their strength to extreme tension. A certain part of the German people takes too much care of themselves. Goebbels warned the people that no one else would have the right to claim personal freedom if he did not fulfill the requirements of total mobilization. Now all men were conscripted into soldiers, and women turned out to be like single mothers. Full mobilization changed the life of every German family. 1944th year has come, and a new stage of coercion of the nation has begun. Total mobilization. In October of 1944th year, a supertotal mobilization was announced in Germany. All men between the ages of 16 and 65 were already subject to conscription. There was even a joke in the Volkssturm: there will be everyone who can already walk, and everyone who can still walk. 1,200,000 men from 20 to 60 years old, who have no restrictions on military service, were enrolled in the first group. These people were in a barrack position and attached to the army. The second category included 2,800,000 men from 20 to 60 years old, who had restrictions on military service. This is a territorial defense group fighting within its region. In the third category were 600,000 teenagers from 13 to 19 years old, who were trained in the camps of Hitler Youth. But that's not all. Another category of persons with very poor health, as well as men over 60 years of age, was introduced for Super-100 mobilization. These infirm people were raked up by almost 1.5 million people, and they were on guard duty. That's it. Watch my channel.